Whoa. Whoa. Hmm. Mm. Okay, it's time to rise and shine, Montgomery. It's time to enjoy another day, for it is one more day above ground, rather than the ground being above you. I'd say that's a lot to be thankful for this morning. What say you? Good morning. I'm Kevin Elkin, and this is Decisions. We call it that because everything you do requires you to make one. And even when you don't make one, well, you just made one. So you see, decisions guide our lives. Good, bad, and indifferent. It's pretty much all the same. Again, good morning. Now it's time for our daily bread. You know, that's the way we roll around here. Our daily bread. We got to do it. We have to do it. It's how we get this day started. Hiroshima, Nagasaki. That's right. Hiroshima. But in America, we say Hiroshima. But it's Hiroshima. Okay. So let's get to our daily bread, and then we'll get back to interesting council meeting yesterday. So yeah, it's always interesting down there. Okay, next up, it is our daily bread, a word from on high, something that'll change your perspective, or at least give you a new one. Either way, it's good for the soul. We'll be back. Okay, so let me make sure I get all this the right way. And there we go.
Look forward eagerly for the Lord's appearing.
Our Daily Bread.
Today's encouragement from the Our Daily Bread devotional was written by Kayla Ochoa. The day before Kayla's husband was to return home from a business trip, her son said, "Mom, I want Daddy to come home." She asked him why, expecting him to say something about the presents his daddy usually brings back, or that he missed playing ball with him. But with solemn seriousness he answered, "I want him to come back because I love him." His answer made Kayla think about our Lord and his promise to come back. "I am coming soon," Jesus says in Revelation 22:20. Kayla longs for his return, but why does she want him to come back? Is it because she will be in his presence, away from sickness and death? Is it because she's tired of living in a difficult world? Or is it because when you've loved him so much of your life, when he has shared your tears and your laughter, when he has been more real than anybody else, you want to be with him forever? Kayla is glad her son misses his daddy when he's away. It would be terrible if he didn't care at all about his return, or if he thought it would interfere with his plans. So how do we feel about our Lord's return? Let us long for that day passionately and earnestly say, "Lord, come back. We love you."
Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Revelation chapter 22, verses 12 through 21. Look, I am coming soon. My reward is with me, and I will give to each person according to what they have done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. Blessed are those who wash their robes, that they may have the right to the tree of life and may go through the gates into the city. Outside are the dogs, those who practice magic arts, the sexually immoral, the murderers, the idolaters, and everyone who loves and practices falsehood. I, Jesus, have sent my angel to give you this testimony for the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David, and the bright morning star. The Spirit and the bride say, Come, and let the one who hears say, Come. Let the one who is thirsty come, and let the one who wishes take the free gift of the water of life. I warn everyone who hears the words of the prophecy of this scroll. If anyone adds anything to them, God will add to that person the plagues described in this scroll. And if anyone takes words away from this scroll of prophecy, God will take away from that person any share in the tree of life and in the holy city, which are described in this scroll. He who testifies to these things says, Yes, I am coming soon. Amen. Come, Lord Jesus. The grace of the Lord Jesus be with God's people. Amen. That's today's scripture reading from Revelation chapter 22, verses 12 through 21.
Let's pray together now. Lord, please come back soon. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries. Look forward eagerly for the Lord's appearing.
Our Daily Bread.
Alrighty then. Okay, we did that already. We got that one.
Today's
We good.
encouragement from the Our
We got
Daily
that
Bread.
one. Now, let us pay homage to all of our armed forces of the United States of America, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and Space Force. And of course, this is Montgomery, Alabama. It is an Air Force town, and we always have to pay homage to the good folks out there on Maxwell and Gunner Air Force Base. Out by the just get a 141. righty then. Okay, we already did that. We already did that. Okay, we did that already. We got that. We got that roll. We already get that. It seems there was some interesting goings on yesterday at the. I meant to get down there, but I didn't get a chance to go down there to the city council. I think somebody sent me a well a edited piece what's going on at having that city council. So we're gonna see about that in a minute here. Now, whoever sent me that piece, how about sending it to me in my messenger? That way I can just bring it online and rather than have to go through all this editing stuff. So I'm just sending it to me in my messenger and my Facebook messenger, and then therefore all I have to do is bring it up. That's right. Just bring it up. That way I don't have to keep going through all this maneuvering. Anyway, good morning to you. First of all, before we get to anything, let's get to the weather today. It looks like it's going to be a little bit more like it was yesterday, as a matter of fact. For the rest of the day, it's going to be cloudy with and peaks of sunshine expected late, and so forth and so on. Let's see. Wait, my computer just went off. Okay, there we go. Let's go back to where we were. Okay, there we go. High around 89 degrees today, winds light and variable. On tonight, it is Wednesday, a low of 72 degrees. Sounds like good weather to me. 24% chance of precipitation. A few clouds, low around 72 this after tonight, and winds light and variable. On tomorrow, pretty much still the same with a lesser chance of precipitation, otherwise known as rain. Okay, unless there's something else that we don't know about. Okay, again, high tomorrow around 90 degrees. Actually, 90 degrees around here would be pretty much a good sign. Partly cloudy skies, high near 90. Winds east northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Precipitation for the next 6 hours, they say you got about a 6% chance of that. Ragweed, pollen, and all that stuff. Well, they say it looks pretty good. It's high, but then again, it is like summer. Air quality is good, and the UV index is extreme, which is about 11, which it's okay because the sun's out, and it is it is summertime, and that's what happens. And when the sun comes out, that's what happens. Okay. The highest temperature on forecast for this day has been 101 degrees. So you see, we're still in pretty good shape, more than what we are. Okay. So good evening to everybody. I hope this day finds everybody doing well. What happened to City Council yesterday? Oh, now coming up at 8:00, he's scheduled to join us, the mayor, and maybe we can talk about a little something what happened at the City Council yesterday. But we'll see. But the mayor's that's around 8:00 today. Miguel, who's the mayor's spokesman, said he hooked it up for me. So I think he's gonna be here. He don't really ever tell me any fibs or anything. So we're gonna get him. I know it's gonna be a tough one for him because I'm gonna be hard on him. I'm gonna be so hard on the mayor that they're gonna think my name is Brick. Okay, not really. I'm gonna ask them some tough questions. Like, how's your family? Or something like that. I'm gonna be tough on. No, seriously, we're gonna have a decent conversation and about life in Montgomery and things of that nature. I don't know what happened. Something happened last night of the 1048 Club. Don't know exactly what happened. I wasn't there, but I did get some. Some news. So as soon as somebody send me some of that good stuff out there, we're gonna make sure we have a conversation and talk to them. Okay, it's a great day to be alive. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It could certainly be worse. Okay, it's a great day to be alive. It's always a good day to be on top of the ground, and the ground's of course not on top of you. Okay. So I think I did it. I did do a daily bread. Yeah, I did. Sometimes it goes by so fast. I feel like I'm missing something that I used to do on the radio. I feel like I'm missing something, but maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just so fast these days in my older age till I'm sort of messing with myself. So did anybody go to the city council meeting last night and see what happened in the about the 1048 Club? I didn't know they were still around, actually, to tell you the truth. But you ever notice on the city council thing, they got buku. I mean buku people asking for liquor license. Is there any place in town that's a grown up place besides the water park? And I think they got a little. I think you can sell alcohol out there too. That can we have a place where we don't sell alcohol so I can go there and visit? Okay, besides the movie theater. Okay, as a matter of fact, I do believe that I believe you can drink a beer in the theater now. I'm not sure for that, but I think they said that up some years ago. But I just don't know. I kind of like not. I mean, the alcohol thing is cool, but there's gotta be more things to do than you know than than alcohol. You know, I mean, but there's always a plethora of people wanting alcohol licenses. Some get it, some don't. I think it's kind of I think there is no set in stone rules and regulation by which you can come before the city council and get it. I mean, they get to decide if you get it or not, and so they tell people if you're going to come down for an alcohol license, get the license first. Don't get the building first and then get the license, because what's going to happen then is that you may not get the license and you already signed a contract with somebody. Okay, so I mean, I'm just saying that may be a pretty good idea, as a matter of fact. So as soon as I figure out let me see here. Okay. Oh, there it is, right there. Okay, I feel you. Okay, I see. Okay, well, we got it. So we started at 49. So, okay, we'll get to that in a second. Okay, after my break, I think she said you started 49 something. Evidently, something happened down there. It starts at 49. Okay, let me see here. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can get that in. See what happened down there. Okay, because we need to see these things. Okay, let me stop that right quick. Let me go share that page because it looks like an interesting thing. I can understand the city council sometimes having arrogant attitudes. I mean, if you look at the city council, if you go in there, you see that big old thing they sit at. I mean, everybody's sitting down there looking down at us poor folks. They sit up there like well, this is my kingdom. Okay, and it is for the time being. It is. It is. They are in charge. They are the leaders of the you know. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe we should put the citizens higher up than the council so they can always look up to us rather than we have to look up to them. I'm just saying, if you're going to do the people's business, then get the people involved, okay? Somebody said today is 80 years ago. The United States, which I think we're the only person actually dropped a atomic bomb and I still, I'm ambivalent about that because I still don't quite know if it was the right thing to do. I think we lost almost 750,000 people. That was a lot of folks to lose, and I understand. I got you. Some say that the atom bomb stopped the war. Well, we'll never know. One thing about it stopped those people, and a lot of civilians were killed in that too. Had nothing to do with the war. But I'm glad I don't have to make those type of decisions because it's a tough thing to do. I don't know, but and in the war on terror, there are a lot of civilians who got killed in that. Also, there's always civilians who die in these wars, and we're supposed to be fighting one another. And now here's what I'm thinking. In Star Trek years ago, they had a segment where robots fought the wars. But here's the sad thing about that. When the robots fought the wars, whichever side lost would have to send people to die. Well, then give me a fighting chance to live. I don't think we need the robots fighting and we dying. Now give me a chance. Give me a chance to fight for myself and let me Let me see if I can work things out for myself, because that is not a good idea. But I got a feeling. And the other day I saw a robot going down the street, and this is what scares me: a robot going down. I forgot. I don't know what city it was in, but everybody was picking at the robot, and the robot looked like he was getting mad. You know, I mean, since when do robots get mad? I thought they were not sentient beings. I thought they were not. I thought they had no emotions. And unless unless they got emotions. I mean, the guy kept hitting the robot, pulling off the robot's arm. The robot looking like, I'm gonna kick your butt. And so what's up with that? I tell you what, this AI stuff, I'm just telling you, is dangerous. We are on dangerous ground with AI. Okay, and sooner or later, we're gonna be working for them. Okay, right now we work for the tax man, but pretty soon we'll be working for. Okay, we'll be working for the robots. Y'all think I'm lying? Okay, just wait and see. Wait and see what I tell you now. Wait and see what I tell you. We're gonna be working for the robots. I'm just saying. Now, remember I told you this. Okay, now I won't be working for them. I go on strike. Okay, they put me in a robot jail. I'm not working for a robot. Okay, no, that ain't gonna happen. Okay, ain't gonna happen. Yesterday, guess what? They putting this all on internet like it's something good. They got a RDF chip. I think it's called RDF. Well, anyway, RF chip, whatever it is. They're now putting in people's body, in their hands. So all they got to do now, like, this is a great idea, right? All they got to do now is go up to, when you go to Walmart and stuff like that, just put the thing in front of you, in front of the magnetic machine, and you can pay your bills. Now, and you pay your bills, pay your light bills, get gas. I mean, who Okay, you remember? Okay, you remember the mark of the beast? You remember that? I believe that's what that is. I wouldn't. Nobody put nothing in me that I know of. Okay, no. We don't need that much convenience. Okay, that you got to put your chip inside me, but I can see it. I can see it happening. I can, maybe not my generation, but within the next couple of generations, people are going to think this is a great thing to do. Oh yeah, I don't have to carry my wallet. I don't have to carry, and I don't have to carry any ID. No, Wink, you ain't got to carry no ID. We just let us put this in you. Let us put this in your arm, okay, or your hand, or wherever you are, and they're gonna make it sound so good until people are gonna say, okay, that sounds good. Okay, they're gonna do that, and I'm just telling you, it is not a very good thing to do. That is not what we want to do. We don't want to do that. We don't ever want to put stuff in our skin, okay? And then once it gets attached to our body, and then we'll find out later, oh man, it gives you cancer and it does all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying. I mean, how many of you folks out there would want somebody to put something in your body so you can pay your light bill and all that stuff real easy? And listen, they're trying to do away with money. The president, which I'm not in with his this whole digital money thing. Okay, I don't want digital money. Let me put the money in my hand. Okay, let me put the money in my hand. I love technology. I think it's fantastic, but we can't allow everything in machines to think for us. Okay, we just can't not do that. And I want to I want to hear my dollars. Okay, I want to be able to go to the bank, see the money I actually earn before I spend it. But the way they do it, and guess what? No more. Oh, hey guys, this is for you. Think about this for a second. If you own child support, you will never work for yourself again. Okay, you won't, because they're gonna see all your money before you see it, and so while you out there gallivanting around having a good time at the club on that alcohol, and Sally Mae looks pretty good to you, and you take her home with you, or you should go home with her, whatever the case may be, and next thing you know, you got little Junior. Now it's over. You'll never see your check again, because they will take how much money they want to take out of your check, because you got the thing. You don't get paid with cash anymore. Won't be no working under the table anymore, because why is that? Because we're paying with electronic money, and everything electronic leaves a signature. Okay. So now I'm just telling you. So while we sitting there thinking this is good stuff, well, I don't really believe it's good stuff at all. Okay, I don't. I think give me the dollars. Okay, don't put nothing in my arm. Don't put nothing in my hand. Okay, I'm just telling you, it is a bad idea. A bad idea. Now I got to go to the city council meeting here for a second and see what happened last night at the thing. And I'll let you guys hear it too and see it. Let me make sure. Okay, so you do this, and you do this. Share the screen. All right, let's see. We want to do the whole window here. Let's see, entire screen. Okay, there we go. Right there. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now let me see if I can get them to play this. All right. So this is the city council meeting last night, and evidently around 46 minutes, 49 minutes, or something like that. They had. Let me see if I can hear this all the way. Let me see. Okay. See what happened. Uh-oh. It doesn't seem that. Let me see if I can get that sound up there. There's Calhoun. Okay, let me get. So we need to do whatever we need to do. Okay. So no one can talk in the public hearing. Okay, we're getting there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're good. The two parties are coming together this Thursday. We'll come back in 2 weeks.
Okay. Can we get to the thing here we got to go to? Let me see. Okay.
Motion to adopt.
All right, all in favor, please raise your hand.
Okay, let's see what's going on.
Thank y'all very much.
Okay, 1048 Club. Here we go. Representative for 1048. Mm-hmm.
First thing I'd like to do is apologize for not being here last time, but I will tell you exactly why and what happened, and it's not Brenda's fault. Okay, basically what happened was, I'm sorry, Douglas Stern.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. 1048 Club. Let's see.
35 years now. Okay, the reason I was not at the council meeting last time is because I showed up and could not find 1048 listed on the docket. It was listed, but I was looking for 1048, not spelled out 1048, which is not the way I usually write it. I have at the end of the standard. What do I do when I can't find my date? Called over a city employee, Brian Seymour. I informed him that the complaints have been dealt with.
And his audio is not very good.
Next door. I spoke with Jonathan Woodall from the permit department.
Can you guys hear that?
No longer marked with demolition. He said had been done in error. Okay. Brian told me that Jonathan had said it was
Okay.
He was a very honorable guy. I told him Jonathan had said had the police there, and they don't do. By the time they get there, the problem is over. But I keep going down this.
So evidently, they got a couple problems there. And
but the problem is, the last guy left and runs late. I mean, a lot of the place across the street closes at 7. Look how many businesses we've lost. I mean, you had this whole shopping center next to me that was a disaster. Owned by Mr. Watson, the bear.
Mm-hmm.
The whole ceiling, the whole damn roof. Okay. Then you had the place next door was burned down by a disgruntled employee. But they managed to put it all back together after about a year, 14 months, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with that is you have a lot of people that come in and just hang out in the parking lot. I don't want them in the business. They bring their own supply of drugs, booze, whatever. You can smoke marijuana.
Where is 1048 at? Anybody know?
Someone else's parking lot. So all I can do is try to lock them out. Now, if you give me a private license, I can say you're not allowed in. Period.
Well, let me set this where it begins. He's reading the whole thing off a book. Let's see where this goes.
From the permit department, he confirmed that the building at 1104 was no longer marked for demolition. It had been done in error. Okay. Brian told me that Jonathan had said it was correct.
Speaking to Mike, man.
I told him Jonathan had sent me an email to that effect. Brian asked me if I could forward that to him and Brian. I said, of course, and forwarded the email to Brian from my phone right then. The email said, quote, as right now, this is
okay. All right.
For our earlier conversation. At this point, Brian said I could go home because there was nothing else on his schedule that affected any of my properties. As to be for sure, he said that was the only thing he had.
Okay, I'm going to have somebody tell me what.
Instructions on the city employee.
He's not speaking into the microphone.
We had a city of Montgomery, the city council meeting. I assumed the matter was dealt with. Brenda sent me a letter saying I have to come back tomorrow. Tomorrow meeting. Yeah. I would like to know what this is about. The one I asked you, Brenda, you told me all you knew was it was under a nuisance issue. Very truly is.
So, Mr. Gardner, you're speaking for someone else when you read that, you're speaking on your behalf.
I'm speaking on my behalf. I'm just explaining why I wasn't here last time. There was no disrespect meant to the city council. I was just told by a city employee to go home that there was nothing.
1048 is across the street from Capri Theater. Oh, that's where it's at. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Appreciate
Mr. President, first thing we talked about during the work session, Robert and I was probably speaking on the nuisance.
I heard the race car was played. That's why I'm playing this.
Taking care of this point, we asked about the building permit. I believe there's a building permit that is pulled for that location for upcoming renovations. But the main issue the reason why we're here primarily is because more than any other property in District 7, I'm getting constant complaints about the activities, appearance, upkeep.
Selling alcohol. You get complaints.
1104 East Fairview and the property next door. The overgrowth of the house next door, the falling down fence, which I know has now been amended, the noise issues that we're having, the fact that we have people in the parking lot loitering.
District 7, Samansky.
We have a lot of development that is coming in. Mr. President, I believe there's representatives from the neighborhood that will speak on this. We have a lot of positive development that's coming to that neighborhood that a lot of people are working really hard on. We have a lot of great businesses who are investing thousands and thousands of dollars into that area. And we have a lot of people that have been there for a long time that have also not been garnering the number of calls and complaints that I am getting from this piece of property.
1048.
The main reason that we wanted was not only to make sure that from the nuisance and abatement side of things on the properties were up to date and taken care of, but also to have a discussion of the activities that were occurring over there.
Like the young lady from Fusion Mountain said, the problem is not people that come to the pub. The problem is people hanging around the outside. I have tried to get rid of them many times.
Okay, let me see what he said. He said the problem is not the people who come to the club. The problem are the people who hang around the club. But I thought you were kind of responsible for letting people hang around the club. Now, of course, if it's on the public fairway, then you can't stop people from walking across. But let's continue this. I don't know if that's true or not. Are you responsible for people hanging around your place? That's called loitering. Let's keep going.
One of my employees was attacked by them. I called the police many times, but the police response time is just, by the time the police show up, they're gone. It's not the police's fault. That's just the way it is. She's absolutely right about that. We close earlier and earlier. That's what I'm trying to do to get rid of them. But the problem is, I'm the last guy left that runs late. I mean, a lot of the place across the street closes at 7. Look how many businesses we've lost. I mean, you had this old shopping center next to me that was a disaster. Owned by Mr. Watson, the bear way downtown. The whole ceiling, the whole damn roof fell. Okay. Then you had the place next door was burned down by a disgruntled employee.
Speaking to Mike, man.
14 months, something like that. And the problem you have is you have a lot of people that come in that just hang out in the parking lot. I don't want them in the business. They bring their own supply of drugs, booze, whatever. You can smoke in marijuana.
Okay, so he says that people come by the business, bring their own supply, their own drugs, their own alcohol, and hang outside. Okay, which I can understand that, but aren't you still sort of responsible for that?
Over someone else's parking lot. So all I can do is try to lock them out. Now, if you give me a private license, I can say you're not allowed in. Period. You're not on this. I don't want you here. That might be a solution. Okay, but we've been doing this for a long time. I've never had the problem we have now. Part of the problem is there's so little two places.
Oh, the rate. Oh, I get you. I feel you. I feel you.
And that's the other issue. I mean, frankly, we have the police there, and they don't do. By the time they get there, the problem is over. But I keep going out there saying, guys, please keep it down. People are living across the street. We never had this problem before, but something has changed very much in the town. You saw the numbers that the mayor put up on the board. Liquor sales are down 36%, 35%. I mean, what's happening is everybody is staying open later, doing something in other parts of town. I don't know where. I suspect a lot of it's coming from clubs right at the county line. When they shut down, they send them to me, and I'm already shut down because I said I don't need this. It's just not worth it.
So you said that you're closing down earlier. What times are you closing?
Well, last night we weren't even open at all, for example.
But in general, when do you
In general, it depends. I try to get everybody out of there by 2 or 3. That's pretty much, we used to be open later, but it's not worth the grief.
That is 2 a.m. is when, especially some of the new development that's across the street, the new apartments, is exactly when I'm having issues with people.
But see, part of the problem is they want, in what you guys determined was an entertainment district. We didn't want it, we lowered it. That's something the city council laid down.
Entertainment district. Okay.
I disagree with you on that. And also the entertainment district, what's happening directly adjacent to your
Right,
piece
but
of
I'm
property.
saying, because everybody else does close earlier, that's true.
Yes.
I mean, but the problem is, now, we can try that, but you're still gonna have a parking lot problem, but at least it won't be my problem. I mean, I really would like to know which one, I mean, if you want me to have a limit of how many, let's be honest here, okay? If you want me to put a limit of how many black customers we're allowed to have? Is that-
Whoa.
Well, that is not at all what we're
Whoa. Wait a minute. The guy said, "You want me to have a limit how many black customers I can have?" So that's who's doing all the mess up over there.
all hours of the night. We have a lot of development that is coming in. I believe there's representation neighborhood that will speak on this. We have a lot of positive development that's coming to that neighborhood that a lot of people are working really hard on. We have a lot of great businesses who are investing thousands and thousands of dollars into that area.
So it's the black people. It's the black people making all the noise.
I've also not been garnering the number of calls and complaints that I am getting from this piece of property. And so the main reason that we wanted was not only to make sure that from the nuisance and abatement side of things on the properties were up to date and taken care of, but also to have a discussion of the activities that were occurring over there.
See, like,
Okay, here he goes. Here he goes.
The problem is not people that come to the club, the problem is people hanging around the outside.
Okay, so he said the problem is not the people. Hold on. He said the problem is not the people who come to the club. It's the people. Hey, look who's in back of him over there. Look who's Roll Tide is over there. Look who's in back of him. Looking all mean. Anyway, let's keep going here. Oh, this is getting good.
I've called the police many times, but the police response time is just, by the time the police show up, they're gone. It's not the police's fault. That's just the way it is. She's absolutely right about what happens. We close earlier and earlier. That's what I'm trying to do to get rid of them. But the problem is, when the last guy left and runs late, I mean, a lot of the place across the street closes at 7. Look how many businesses we've lost. I mean, you had this whole shopping center next to me that was a disaster. Owned by Mr. Watson, the bear way downtown. The whole ceiling, the whole damn roof fell. Okay. Then you had the place next door was burned down by a disgruntled employee. But they managed to put it all back together after about a year, 14 months, something like that. And the problem with that was, you know, a lot of people that come in, they just hang out in the parking lot. I don't want them in the business. They bring their own supply of drugs, booze, whatever. You can smoke them marijuana. And I have zero authority over someone else's parking lot. So all I can do is try to lock them out. Now, if you give me a private license, I can say you're not allowed in, period. You know, I don't want you here. That might be a solution, okay? But we've been doing this for a long time, and I've never had the problem we have now. Part of the problem is there's so little few places inside the bypass for anyone else to go. And that's the other issue. I mean, maybe we had the police there, and they don't do, by the time they get there, the problem is over. But I keep saying, guys, please keep it down. People are living across the street. We never had this problem before. But something has changed very much in the town.
You know what changed.
The mayor put up on the board, liquor sales are down 36%, 35%. I mean, what's happening is everybody is staying open later, doing something in other parts of town. I don't know what. I suspect a lot of it's coming from clubs right at the county line.
Now, this was the meeting last night.
I'm already shut down because I said I don't need this stuff. It's just not worth it.
So you said that you're closing down earlier. What times are you closing?
Well, last night we weren't even open at all.
But in general, when do you
In general, it depends. I try to get everybody out of there by 2 or 3. That's pretty much, we used to be open later, but it's not worth the grief.
That is 2 a.m. is when, especially some of the new development that's across the street, the new apartments, is exactly when I'm having issues with people.
But see, part of the problem is they want, in what you guys determined was an entertainment district. We didn't want it, we lowered it. That's something the city council ran down our throats.
Well, I disagree with you on that. And also the entertainment district, what's happening directly adjacent to your
Right,
piece
but
of
I'm
property.
saying, because everybody else does close earlier, that's true.
Yes.
I mean, but the problem is, now we can try that, but you're still gonna have a parking lot problem, but at least it won't be. I mean, I really would like to know which one. I mean, if you want me to have a limit of how many, let's be honest here, okay? If you want me to put a limit of how many black customers we're allowed to have, Is that what this is about?
Well, that is not at all what we're
Good, so I'd like that to be on the record that that's not what it's about. And many times and stories that I've had with the police in my part.
Well, absolutely not.
Then he sent over some people to clean up after I'd already pulled my permit. These people, went before we were open, proceeded to go ahead and start stealing property from the front of 1048. They stole ramps, they stole chairs, they stole tables, everything they could. I called the police, okay? The police had to be called 3 times before they showed up. Okay, they finally did show up. Meanwhile, okay, I had to stop the guy from trying to get away with this stuff, so I parked my car in front of him. Okay, disabled his tire from going further away because he's not going to get away with my stuff.
Mr.
The
President,
story gets a lot better than said.
Mr. Smith, hold on, Mr. Yes.
I believe we had some representatives from the Neighborhood Association. Brenda, did you get a public comment on this agenda item? I'd like to take
Okay.
that before we-
Well, anyway, okay, enough of that. But so it seems,
No, it's not.
okay, it seems that our new young culture is really making it difficult for businesses. I mean, he said, "Well, and he did ask the question, "Well, do I stop black folk from coming?" And then last night, City Council, I saw the mayor giving somebody some accolade being a rapper. The rap is the worst thing that ever came out. Rap is worse than crack cocaine. But you know that's what people want. Is that the end? Let me see is that the end of this? Let him finish this thing here. But the problem is, too much rap.
And here's my issue. Here's my issue. All of these issues that are happening late at night.
How late are they?
A lot of the calls I'm getting, people are telling me between 1 and 3 in the morning. The appearance of the building, some of the issues that are happening there, we have to make that stop. Okay, and I'm not getting those complaints and calls from other liquor license holders in the district, not even some of your neighbors who also sometimes stay open that late.
Not usually, they usually close.
So I'm glad the nuisance abatement thing seems to have been taken care of. I think Robert will tell you that they are constant. They are constant.
Smashing kind of tough. Now, this was the meeting last night.
Mr. President, with all due respect.
That's Pruitt.
People that came down during the 3 o'clock meeting, and I would ask that we just let them 2 minutes.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get to the point. This is about like,
Right.
we're going back to about what's going on with the park. I think that's something that be worked out. You got communicating what needs to be done.
It's really hard to solve that problem, sir. But they understand.
I understand. But this, what I'm looking for me is about your license. About a review or your license. New business.
Yeah, they may shut him down, and it's really not his fault. But it really, I guess it really, you know. Take the age limit up, man, to 50.
We can go back and forth, but it's up to you to fix what goes on at your property.
It is, and that's why.
If you got to work out, we're gonna get from them, and we can move forward. Go back and forth on what's not happening, what's going on. Just review the license. The license not gonna move forward today, not today, it's gonna work out, we're gonna move forward from there. You know, we got a lot to do, we started early so we can get out. I want to hear what you got to say, but I don't think we're gonna vote on the license.
Mr. Kelvin, I agree with you.
Mhm.
I think the city needs to know about this next story. So before the police got there, the people who had been hired by the city.
Oh, it was Councilman Mitchell who did the rapper. Okay, yeah, that's part of our problem right there. But I like Councilman Mitchell, but that rap stuff, they can keep that. But I saw the mayor on taking picture with him.
Yes, the abatement people did. They ended up threatening us with knives, with sticks, and with burning down the building, which I called the FBI about because threatening us is a federal crime.
Okay then. Well,
The policeman showed up.
all right then.
Supervisor out. Okay.
Well, listen. The best part about this whole thing, the guy said, "Do I have to limit how many black people are coming here?" Woo! Okay then. Well, I should have been there last night. Nah, this guy got this. This is good. That it's interesting question he brought up. I mean, a very interesting question he brought up. You know, I don't know if you can actually do that legally. Say, yeah, we got our quota of black folks tonight, so we know y'all raised a bunch of hell and things go south from that point on. So, no, no, no. I don't think I ever heard anybody say that. Now I've heard people think it, but I never heard anybody say it. And how do you solve that problem? I mean, you live in a town that's predominantly black, and so most of your clientele, especially at that time, will be black. But I think one of the things we ought to do, really, honest to goodness, um, we need a curfew in this city. At least you could hopefully get rid of some of the people that hang out at night, and have them go home, because you really know who these people are. And I really believe that we ought to take the we ought to take the although I don't know what age of people today are mature. Used to be, you hit 25 years old or so, you began to get a little sense about yourself. uh, I don't know if that in fact um, is how we're doing it today. I don't know if that's the do we need here's the deal. Do we need to take the patronage of clubs to 45 and above? I mean, 45 and above, um, to a club. If you're not, because the more we get into to these younger, older people today, it seems like they act more crazier than they act crazier than okay, stop that. They're acting crazier than the rest of the people are. So I don't know what the answer is, but I know one thing, that people have gotten more uh, less discipline in the streets today. And listen, it is what it is. Most of the clubs you hear about that are catching hell from our young black males. I mean, that is what it is. But if you're gonna live in a city and you're gonna sell that alcohol like y'all be doing, then you gotta take all comers, or take your age limit up to the people who patronize your place. Okay, if they patronize your place, then 45 and above, because right now 45 is the new 25. Okay, 50 is the new I don't know, 35, because it just seems like people don't act right anymore. It just seems that they don't have the ability and the discipline to go into people's places and act civil and sensible. And then you put rap music in with it and alcohol. Oh man, y'all crazy. It is what it is. I like what the guy said. Well, can I limit black people? Listen. One thing about it, he got some cojones on him anyway, to even ask the question. He Woo! There are a lot of businesses I would think about going into, but being a club owner, it's just not one of them. It's just not. And then you introduce alcohol into that same scenario. Oh man, that's a tough road to hold. That is just that's just tough. He needs to ban. Okay, he needs to ban Democrats. Yeah, and I'm willing to bet you. I'm willing to bet you anything. If they vote, they do vote Democrat. If they vote, they do vote Democrat. And listen, it's not the Democratic Party. It's not the whole party. But you have got to believe certain things in order to be a devout Democrat. Okay, I mean, really, you do. You got to believe certain things, and it just is what it is. There's nothing we can do about. I mean, and I guarantee you, if you go downtown now, I would guarantee you, if you go downtown right now to the jailhouse, and you ask anybody that voted, did you vote? That's in jail. I would guarantee you that 90% of them, if they voted Democrat. And so, what is it about those people who vote Democrat, the young ones? Because it's always a victim mentality. It's never about. It's never really about you. It's never really about you being responsible for what you do. I know you can go back to 1962 and all that stuff, or you can say what happened in 1980. I'm with you. I ain't mad at you. But at some point, we have to be responsible for what we do. And that's interesting. Okay, sometime in the next 5 minutes, I do expect the mayor. Okay, now the mayor didn't recognize Councilman Rondé Mitchell. Let me make that clear. Although I just saw him sitting in the picture, they were all taking a picture. Evidently, this young person has worked with some notorious rappers. I just can't find one rapper I like. None. I just don't like anybody who does that stuff. I just find it. I mean, I had to walk down the street a couple weeks ago to a couple of kids. I mean, in this and in that and in this and in that rapper out there. I said, can y'all play some Teddy Pendergrass or something? I mean, I don't need to be called the word nigga all the time. I said, do I really need to hear that all the time? I mean, is that the only word they know how to say? My Lord, and they had a white guy with him. I said, now you know, if you going down the road right now by yourself and you got a song that's saying nigga this and nigga that on that, you know that someone gonna yank you out your car. Okay, I'm just saying. Listen, respect yourself. Respect us. Respect yourself, though. If you don't respect yourself, nobody else can respect you. And I can understand it. We ask for people to respect. We ask people to respect us who we are, and we ought to be respected. But then we turn around, my Lord, and we play the most raunchiest, the most disgusting, the most vile music of any group of people in this country. Okay, and we play, and then we went and listen. If you think that music does not affect the way we act, y'all crazy. Okay, that's why we give people Grammy Awards. Okay, because music changes your attitude. It really does something for us. And if all your life, okay, all your big city, I like rap music. It gets me hyped all the way. Turn up. Okay, and Big C, therein lies the problem right there. That's the problem. Okay, so here's my suggestion. We should ban rap music in public after 9:00 at night. Just ban it. Just ban it. Only thing you can play after 9:00 at night is Barry Manilow, Luther Vandross, Little Barry White, Little ABBA, and things of that nature. No rap after 9. I think I'm going to run for city council on that. I think I'm going to run for city council. No rap clubs after 9:00. Okay, because it takes them like 2 hours to come down off of it. So I figured by 11:00, they ought to be, and you got the alcohol now, you got the rap songs on now, you got the challengers and the fast cars now. Now they're headed out on the streets to raise hell too. Now 9:00, and I'm not even joking. When I run for city council, that's going to be one of my plaques. Yes, one of my plaques. No rap music after 9:00. No rap clubs after 9:00. Now, what you listen to in your own car. James Cleveland, I can handle James Cleveland. I can handle James Cleveland. Yeah. I would love the Canton Spiritual. Those are good songs. Those are things that make you think about your life. Okay, but we don't need no more rap music. Okay, I'm just we need to ban it. It should be the only exception to the First Amendment in the history of a nation that's 250 years old almost. It should be the only exception. We don't let people sell publicly rap music. Okay. Now somebody says ban Democrats after 9:00 in public. There may be something. There may be something to that. But anyway, good morning. If you want to call, and we do have a phone number here. We do have a phone. You can call us. What is our number here? It's 521-2963. Okay, that's a 334-521-2963. Now that is our number here. Just in case you totally disagree with me, that's cool. You can call. I can handle it. I can take the call. I really can. Okay, it is 8:00. So now I'm expecting the mayor to chime in with us any moment here now. So that's why I'm kind of wasting a little time here because they're supposed to Miguel is supposed to have the mayor set up at about 8 o'clock here. So now, if you don't show up, I'm not going to blame the mayor. He may have had something more important to do. I'm not sure, but see, so I got my phone right here, right? So I'm finna call Miguel right now and see where is the mayor. Oh, Greg, somebody said you need to put your hood back on. No, listen. I think that is that's not a fair assessment. Okay, I think you're doing my man wrong when you say that. I think listen, we've got to be as people, we have got to be honest about our culture and some of the negative things that are part of our culture. Okay, I mean, I'm not the only one that heard it. You go down the street right now, you hear you can smell marijuana. Okay, from these young folks. 3 minutes after they leave you, you still smell the marijuana. Rap music. I've never seen a genre of music where people get killed because they wrote the wrong word in a song. There is a issue with rap music. Okay, not all of it, but at least about 99% of it. Okay, it just and the women. Oh my God, the women rappers now are worse than the men. I mean, have you listened to some of that stuff? I mean, I don't really listen to it. I don't listen to it, but every once in a while, I'm in somebody else's car. I got to listen to the music. Okay, I got to listen to the rap song. So now I don't know where the mayor is, but I'm waiting on him. So let me take a 3-minute break and come back, and we'll talk. We'll see if I can get those guys online. Make sure Miguel's got this all squared away because it is 8 o'clock. I know the mayor would never stand me up, so let me make sure that they know how to do this, and we'll be back. Uno momento. Uno dos tres momento. Okay, so hang loose. You don't listen to James Cleveland. Come on, man. You don't even know who James Cleveland is. They banned. Well, now they did, didn't they? They did. They did ban the band of Dixie, but we allow rap song. A couple of years ago, when they said something about George Bush or something like that, they did. They banned them off. They moved them off the radio. I mean, what kind of stuff is that? If anything need to be off the radio, it's that rap music. I don't care. But listen, I'm willing to debate anybody. He has a city. Yeah, we know he has a city to run. I live in a city too. Yeah, I got a city to run too. Okay, I do it right from my chair here because that's why I am the mayor of the podcast people. Okay, I used to be the mayor of the airways, so I'm running the city too. Okay, so let me take a little break, see if I can find these folks, and y'all hang loose, and I'm gonna take a break and see if I can find the mayor, see where he is. Right? He may be out there talking to the president or something like that. I don't know, trying to get some money. Okay, I mean I know he has a city to run. We could. I feel you on that. Okay. So we'll be back. I mean, don't y'all go into places. I'm not quitting this one, not this quick. Okay, so we'll be back. Hang loose. We'll be right back. I got 3 minutes, and I'll be back. 3 minutes. Okay, so the mayor is okay. Where'd he go? He was right there. What happened to the mayor? He was there. Okay. All right then. He was there, but then he left. I don't know what happened to him. I'm waiting for him. Okay, there he was there. Mayor, call back. We'll wait on you. Okay. I'm trying.
You right here?
Oh,
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you, but I can't see you.
All right, we'll get that worked out. Keep on talking.
Yeah. Hey, you sound better on the let me on this than you do on the phone. Let me turn this junk off right here. Okay, not junk. It's my professional stuff here. How you doing, Mr. Mayor?
Hey, I'm doing well. Kevin, how about yourself?
I'm doing fine. You know, the people want to see you though, man. You gotta turn the camera on.
Well, listen. Let's first of all be glad we connected. I can't find you. You can't stay anywhere more than 90 days. Can you make it out of Can you make it out of probationary period, Kevin? You know.
Well, listen. 31 years, 34 years on local radio after all that. You know, listen, you know, I went to the wrong side of town, Mayor. You know.
Well, you gotta be careful about those kind of things now.
Okay. Okay. Listen,
Gotta know where you're going. How's that?
Oh, there's the mayor right there. I knew you were somewhere around here. Anyway, well, first of all, let me say good morning to you and thank you for taking time out your day before I ask you these tough questions to join us. We appreciate it because I know, you know, I told you I'm gonna be hard on you. I mean, I'm gonna be real hard on you this morning. You need some hard. I mean, I look at the city council. I think y'all must be going out to dinner at night because ain't nowhere that tough on you at the city council meeting.
You know, sometimes we have conversations, you know, before we get to the council meeting, after the council meeting, you know, in between council meetings. So, you know, we have conversations about the direction of the city and what we need to do to move it forward. So,
Mhm.
you know, the council meeting is really more so for the people to come and bring their issues and highlight, you know, some of the things they want us to do a little bit more. They want to focus on, and then we got to take care of the business, you know,
Mhm.
of licenses and zoning and approvals and all that. So,
Mhm.
listen, when you're in a growing city like ours, that's a lot on the agenda. So we have hearty discussions.
Okay. You know the one of the things that we I might as well just ask you this one tough question, right? We can get it over with. A year or so ago, we gave Live Free 1.6, $1.7 million. The county gave a 1 point something million dollars. That was about $3 million we gave this organization.
Mhm.
Um, I haven't seen any Live Free projects or anything, at least not publicly. Where's the money, and why do we give them that kind of money?
Yeah, well, we had to go through the American. That money, first of all, this came from the Biden administration. So I want to be clear because I'm gonna come back to that
Okay.
point in just a little bit. All right.
Mhm.
That came from the American Rescue Plan Act. And so that was federal dollars that, luckily for us, local communities were able to go after it. It didn't all go to the state because when things go to the state, many of your callers don't pay attention or don't comment on what happens at the legislature. They don't follow the money there as close as they do at the city level. And so when it goes to the state, it tends to get rerouted, you know, a lot of different ways. And we were able to get that money at the local level to really combat violence that was happening with a post-pandemic high that we saw spike in the last 30 years right after COVID. And those federal dollars were um, run through a process where you had to apply for those dollars, fill out not just an application, but a proposal about what you would do programming wise, and how you would go about utilizing those taxpayer dollars to do the things you said you were capable of doing, whether that was hospital based intervention, whether that was community violence intervention, and that sort of thing. So, Live Free was the organization that one came highly recommended to us from other cities. Two, have been doing this work in other communities similar to ours to reduce violence, to break the cycle of violence in various communities. And it had the best proposal and the best approach to do that, working with Crime Stoppers, local organization, working with Helping Montgomery Families Initiative, local organization, but kind of upping the level of work that they were capable of doing and things that we had seen done from Baltimore, which is now experiencing a 50-year low in homicides, um, cities like Newark, New Jersey, and other urban areas that we thought we wanted to model our proactive crime fighting steps with. And so they were the organization that had the best proposal. They've been on the ground now for a few months. I didn't expect them to change what's been happening in Montgomery for years. overnight, but I think so far they're off to a very good start, and they're off
But
to doing
what have
that
they
with.
done though? What
Well,
we don't see anything. I don't see any live free events or anything like. I mean,
well, listen,
for that kind of
I'm glad
money.
you said. Listen, I'm glad you said that because there's some people who criticize the city for doing too many events, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
you get cuss going, you get cuss coming.
Hmm.
Um, there's some who say the stop the violence prayer walks are useless. There's some that say the city does events with the Office of Violence Prevention. What good does that do? So you got those critics over here, and then you got the critics over here who say, well, we don't see what they're doing. My goal is really not for us to see what they're doing, but to feel what they're doing. And that takes time. And I think so far they're off to a good start to working with people like Pastor Ed Nettles and so many others in this community who have been on the ground working in the streets and working in the communities to reduce violence for many, many years, much longer than I've been in office.
Mr. Mayor, let me ask
But
you
I'm
a
glad
question.
to have him as a partner. Yes,
Let me
sir.
ask you. $3 million would have went a long way for the local people here who do all kinds of work directly. Who they know our cities, they know our
Yeah,
kids, they know our schools.
yeah.
Have we ever given them $3 million?
Well, listen. First of all, they're all. I just mentioned two local organizations that
Well,
have a part of that. So all three did not go to Live Free. So let's clear that up. All three did not. All 3 million did not go to Live Free.
okay.
So that was for the Community Violence Intervention Initiative between the city and the county. I'm grateful for the county commissioners who worked with us on that. And so, listen, I think the local uh, grassroots organizations are doing a phenomenal job. I think that they are doing some good work, and some of them are partnering
Mhm.
with Live Free. Some of them are working with the city. Some of them are working with our hospital violence intervention program. So some of them are now.
Okay, well,
You
you
know,
straightened something out. You did straighten something out because see, I'm thinking that whole $3 million
no,
went to them, so that was
no.
a collective for all to work with. All okay,
Hold
okay.
on,
That
sis.
makes difference. I still don't really understand because I looked at some of their cities that they said St. Louis and Chicago and all
Yeah.
places. They and lately every time you tell a crime is down, crime goes up.
Well, listen, crime is always up if it happens to you.
Well,
It
it's
goes
true.
up 100%, right?
Mhm.
So we understand that part. What I would say, for some, the narrative is always going to be crime. Kevin, listen, let's delve off real quick.
Mhm.
Those on the right are always going to use something to, manipulate the information and distract from the success. All right. When you're winning, they're going to find a reason why you're not winning enough. When you're losing, they're going to say, well, you should be winning. So, they're always going to be those type of people. I've been around here long enough time, both in the private sector and now as an elected official now since 2012. So I understand how this works. It doesn't deter me. It doesn't distract me from what we're doing. I think the numbers of crime being down significantly, over 28% in the first half of this year, it is a major, major story for us. It's a major story for the community. There are those who would just rather sabotage success because of who's running the city and how it's being run and the money they aren't getting, as opposed to addressing the success that we're having. So we know there's a political agenda that's driving the narrative. We ought to just call it out for being what it is.
Well,
I've always been a straight shooter, and
well,
that's not going to change with me.
okay,
So, there are those who will complain that it's not down 100%. Oh, in the great Emory Palmer days, it never would have happened. Well, you didn't get the information every 30 seconds. You didn't have Facebook. You didn't have social media. You had Bob Howell, Bob Ingram, Kim Wallace, and those folks, and you had a little bit of radio, so you didn't know what the hell was happening,
mhm.
like you do now. So, they're
But
always
that's why we
talking
got a
about
that's
the
why we got
glory
a young
days.
that's why we got a young mayor in there though, somebody who can maneuver in that environment. Let me ask you a question. One of the things that the citizens seem to get tired of hearing is that we can't do nothing about it. I can't put a police on everybody's street. I can't, which we know that's absolutely right. But let me ask you something. Aren't you and the city council responsible to us for the environment that this
Now,
violence has brought upon us?
well, listen, I think where we and the community, as a member of the community, we're all part of the environment, right? We're all part of the community. So certainly the city is charged with protecting the community and with the health and safety of the community, and we take that very seriously. We take our investment serious. We made more investments in the police department than any administration in the city's history. How often do you hear that on the right wing Facebook and Facebook pages? How often do you see that on the next door apps? We're
Well,
talking about that.
you know about them apps, don't you?
Listen, man, listen, I keep my ear to the street. I always have, always will. So,
But you
you know,
didn't
I
answer my
laugh.
question. But you didn't. Okay, and listen, you ought to
Yeah,
be.
well, the answer is yeah. I said, wait, hold. There's a two-part answer.
Okay.
We're all responsible for the environment, the community, right? We're all
Okay.
responsible for whatever that is, good, bad, or indifferent.
Mhm.
The city and the police department certainly are charged with the safety of the citizens of this city. Absolutely. And I think the men and women Montgomery Police Department and our other law enforcement partners are doing a great job with that. And I think a lot of community leaders are doing a great job to help
And
us
some
with
of them
this.
are. I mean, it certainly could be worse than what it is. But I just get tired of hearing people who
Why
get
are you
paid.
saying it can be, hold on, why are you saying it can be worse? I just said we're down 20. Kevin, let me ask the question.
You know this
Crime
about
was up
figures.
20, if crime was up 29%, would we be having the same conversation?
No, it'd be worse. Yeah, we would.
No, no, it would be the same conversation.
We'd be having a
So
recall.
my thing was, listen, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. I ain't lost an election yet.
We have a
I ain't
recall.
lost one yet, Kevin.
Okay.
All right.
But let me ask you a question.
Let your folks know.
Okay, speaking about our police department, which are great, why can't we concentrate on local people to fill slots that are available rather than go all the way to Baltimore, Maryland, and get somebody, a woman who's 5'2", who can't rest nobody by herself?
Hey, Kevin. Hey, Kevin.
What?
And a one-on-one, I'm taking her over you every day and twice on Sunday. Let me tell you that.
I'm a paratrooper, brother. I tell you, I'm a paratrooper. I can handle it.
Yeah. You used to be.
That's true. That's true. But let me ask you, where she came from, Baltimore is the seventh deadliest city in America when it comes to murders. Not only that, she was there when they started, when that, I forgot that guy's name, got killed, Gary something. They started rioting in the city.
Yeah.
Right, rioting in the city. The mayor said, well, let them riot over on that part of the city. Okay, give them a place where they can riot. I like to know her philosophy on that, and did she support that kind of thing? You kind of snuck her in here on us. Some of the city council didn't even know she was here.
The city council business run the day-to-day operations of the city. That's why they're on the city council. Man. That's why they're not the mayor. So let's be clear about that.
But isn't that a problem, though? The mayor's not really communicating with the city council.
The mayor's communicating with the leadership consistently, and the mayor communicates with the city councilman who communicate with the mayor. So those who don't call, text, email, stop by, grab a cup of coffee, come by the office, then they may not get everything that's happened. They may be talking to me about why we didn't cut the grass in the ditch. They may be talking to me about why people are speeding on there. So they're talking.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be about that. There's a lot of things that happen with over 2,400 employees in several departments. They got the information before others did. Now, again, some of them go to some meetings in the community that may not be the meetings I go to. So maybe they ought to come to the meetings I go to, and they might know what's happening a little bit more. I'm just saying. So,
Okay.
Listen, but let's get back to your question.
But some of our city council
on Baltimore.
Some of our city councils say they called you so many times and couldn't get you. They thought they was on block.
They a lie. They a lie.
I'm just telling you what's being said.
So I don't know if they're saying it or that's who they say is, but I don't know. I don't know if any of our city council that call and can't get me. I'm available 24/7. So
somebody lied to me.
Yeah.
Somebody lied to me.
I said they lied 3 times for a reason. I wanted you to make sure you heard it and your viewers and listeners heard it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been coming on your show long before I was elected.
Yeah,
long before. I'm not going to change my approach in particular with your audience. I believe in being unfiltered and giving it straight, no chaser. So
I like that about you. I like that about you. If we give it to you, you give it back.
But I want to go to the question here about why do you bring in somebody from the outside? This city is one of the most, and I'm born and raised here. I'm the first mayor to be born and raised in this city and graduate for the schools in at least 60 years. So I'm as Montgomery gets. All right. So I ain't come from no rural county in the wiregrass coming up here. I'm born in St. Margaret's Hospital. All right. Okay. So let me say this. One thing about Montgomery is Montgomery is a very, very tough place. We're one of those cities where we really like to just keep everything here, right? In a small, very small circle. If I did that, there would be again the critics saying, well, I'm just hiring my high school classmate or my former teammate or somebody that I went to the YMCA with, I grew up with. My point is, we go and we cast a wide net for the best and brightest.
You forgot a very important one.
Which one?
Your fraternity brothers.
I don't have that many fraternity brothers. Actually, I got probably more that's not in my fraternity that
Well, that's the
are.
word on the street. That's the word on the street.
I keep telling, see, you got to come to the source. They don't need to go into the street when you come to the source.
Okay.
You know, and then you got to be careful of who's putting that word on the street, right?
Mhm.
But that said, we cast a wide net for the best and brightest, whether it's economic development, whether it's public safety, whether it's as a chief operating officer. And our goal is to bring the best and brightest. And so one of the things I have felt, and I said this when we brought in others in various positions, is I want people that have a different lens of Montgomery than what I may have or what some others may have. And that's in all areas because I think it's good to have a set of eyes and ears that aren't biased or prejudged or prejudiced toward one particular practice or the other. I like people to come in and be able to give me an objective opinion about exactly what's happening good internally and externally
And you
and
think
what's
you're
happening
getting that?
bad.
You
What's
think you're
that?
getting? You think you're actually getting an objective opinion from most of your staff?
Listen, I think that we have the best staff this city has had, maybe period.
Right. I'm not talking
Um,
the quality. I'm just, do you believe that? I mean, listen, you're the mayor, a pretty well-known one, and a pretty like one for the most part. Do you really believe now? If I'm on your staff, they can be assured that you're gonna get an objective opinion. Okay? I don't know if so much right now, but do you feel comfortable to say that everybody on your staff gives you an objective opinion?
Hey, Kevin, you don't bring in a retired colonel as a chief of staff or a former deputy mayor of Washington, D.C., or economic development director, or a planning and inspections and permitting director that are old, that are at my age or older with
Mhm.
seasoned experience, and expect them to be yes men. Now, I'm not like your president. All right. I'm not like Trump. All right. So I know that you got to be one of the folks that's telling him yes to everything. Yes, Mr. President. That's not the type of organization I've ever run, and I never want to be the smartest person in the room on everything. I'm the smartest on some things, but I'm not. If I'm the smartest on everything, there's a problem. I need to choose a
Well,
different
if you
room.
really want an objective opinion, you put a sergeant on your staff. Okay. You gave me all them high level people up there, but you bring a sergeant on there, put Elkins on there, and you gonna get the nut. You talking about no chaser? Yeah,
Uh,
you gonna think you drinking nails. Okay, I'm
but
just
listen,
saying. Yeah.
Kevin, let me ask the question. Why
Mhm.
why is it a point when folks um talk about us bringing in somebody from the outside at PD or in any position, but yet the same people don't mind their side bringing in folks who are from the outside. They don't always bring in homegrown and locally raised folks either, but it's fine when they do it, but it's a problem when I do it.
Well, and I agree with you. I agree with you. I've talked to Todd about this. I brought this up to Bobby Bright because if we want our kids to stay here in Montgomery, the policemen and people like that, then we've got to show them they can still reach for the stars here
That's
and
right.
not have to go some other state, someplace else, to make a decent living. And here's another thing: why are we thinking about giving this woman a raise already? She's been here what, a month and a half, maybe, in
We're not talking
Grayburg.
about giving her a raise.
Well, I saw it on the thing the other day. Take the step up to $134,000, I believe. And Graybo's gonna get
Oh,
161.
oh well, that's not a raise. That's what she was. That's what was negotiated in the original.
Well, that's
So,
still, it's a negotiated raise, but it's still a raise.
no, that's where she comes in with her experience and her expertise and what she does in terms of law enforcement. My thing is this: do the people of Montgomery want a safe community or not? If you want a safe community, I don't care if I got to go to Mars to get somebody. You shouldn't give a damn where they come from, as long as they're providing the knowledge to give us Operational
Well,
experience and
we
expertise.
want them to prove something to us, though.
We
Just
want
come
them
here
what?
paying people. We want them to prove something to us, just to come here and make that kind of money, and you haven't done anything. We
Hey,
don't know what you going to
hey,
do.
Kevin. Hey, Kevin.
Yeah.
I have overproven, and they all make more money than me. So if I don't have an issue with how much money they make, then I don't understand why anybody else does either. And to be
No.
honest with you, I think it's really a small town approach, and I really think it's a small minded conversation to
Mhm.
have. Listen, when we go to the doctor, do we care how much that doctor gets paid? No. We want that doctor to fix the pain we have or to fix whatever aches us. I don't care what Baptist
And
or
I agree with
UAB
you,
is
but he
paying.
has a proven record, though. She has
Well,
not proved to us that she deserves that kind of money.
she don't have to prove it to y'all. She
We
don't, she
paying
don't
her,
report to y'all. She reports
but we're
to the
paying her,
chief
though.
and hired by me.
Well,
And
we're paying you too.
underpaying me.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. So let's be clear.
But you have you asked for more money?
Not yet, but when I saw what Mobile's mayor just got, they gave me a different idea.
I know they did. A couple of years ago, you had this thing where you didn't really want to arrest people who were panhandling. I've often said you let people go with the small crimes, the big crimes follow. We are seeing a little bit of that in Montgomery now. And I understand you had a nice heart, a big heart, and all that stuff, and that's great. But that kind of attitude lends itself to letting other things go. What say you?
I totally disagree with that. We
I know
don't
you
want to
would.
arrest people with mental illness. We don't want to arrest homeless veterans. We don't want to arrest women with children who've been put out. We're trying to get them the help and the support. And to be quite honest with you, I don't think the state of Alabama has done enough in the last 20 years. So that spans Democrat control and Republican control in this area to help those who are suffering from mental illness and who are suffering from things that don't allow them to maintain a stable job or a stable roof over their heads.
But
And
that's
we
not
have
the
not.
mayor's problem, though. That's not your problem. Your problem is making sure the streets are safe, making
That's
sure
right.
that when we walk down these streets. I mean, listen, I feel sorry for people with mental illness. Where some days I got some mental illness things of that
So,
nature. but that's not the mayor's job to worry about everybody that's sick on the street
the mayor's job is to look out for the well-being of the
of the
overall
city.
community. Of
Right,
city,
exactly.
correct. So that means people who are in the city, listen, whether we invited them here or not, I think that for us, we've got to make sure that we're focusing on the repeat violent offenders. Now, you want to know where our focus is disrupting the part one crimes and the violent crimes that I know fill your inbox and fill your comment section and
Mhm.
everything else. Now, listen, the homeless piece, um, we're working to, and I think we've done a better job on that. But right now, where do we put them? We don't have enough places right now. If I went and scooped all of them up, where do we put them? Where would you have us house them, and who would pay for it? Give me that answer.
I'm gonna. Hey, you on there with the mayor? Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, you on there with the mayor?
Oh, I didn't know that. How you doing, Mayor?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm not here to respond. Talking about you the mayor, or you talking about the mayor of Montgomery, or the mayor of Airways?
I'm talking
It's
about
only one mayor on this call. I don't know who.
You talking about you, the mayor?
No, I'm talking about
Yeah.
the mayor Reed.
Yeah. I don't
Mayor
know
Reed's
about
on
the
there.
sergeant
He's
over
not saying anything. What I'm saying, I don't hear anything
Okay.
from my end.
Well, call me back if you can't hear him, because that's who we have
Oh.
a conversation with right now. One other thing that I think that we need to get on you about, and that is, Mr. Mayor, that is. Well, I ain't even gonna go there right now. You just finished what you were saying.
Oh, go ahead. You're getting older, and this. I don't want you to lose your thought. Now, go ahead. We got some time.
Well, my problem is that with Tumpka, Millbrook,
Yeah.
Tuskegee to a certain extent, also Prattville. Why don't they seem to have the issues of crime the way we do? And I realize they're smaller community. I got that part, but you still got they're still human beings.
Yeah.
So why does it seem that we have a lot more violence in this city than the cities surrounding us? Is it strictly population?
I think it's
Or
no.
philosophy?
I think it's one, population for sure. I think two, because of the density of the city, a lot of things that lead to crime, take place here. Now, those cities, and I talked to the mayors enough there, that they had their challenges, but they're different type they're bedroom communities, so they don't have the level of activity that we have here. Listen, that's good for them. Um, I'm not wishing for our crime to be somebody else's crime. I wish that we didn't have crime, period.
Right.
So, it's good for them, but they don't have some of the community challenges that we have, in part because of the people.
Do you
But
think you put a what if I had any criticism with you whatsoever, it would be this. And again, I like you. You're the only politician my whole life I've ever wrote a check to help their. Okay, it wasn't a big check, but
did you write that check? No, wait
I
a second.
did. I did on your first campaign. You're the only person I wrote a check
Why not
to
on the second one?
because the money was tight.
Oh, okay, all right, that's fine. I
Okay,
understand that. That happens. That happens. All right.
but
I didn't know you wrote one, but listen, okay.
yeah, you're the only person I ever did to because and again, I still believe in you. But I think you come across as weak often. You don't seem to put a strong veneer out there. So I want you to get on the TV one day and hit the podium and say, listen, cut this crap out in this city. Okay. I mean, you come across as this nice guy, which is cool. But you know what happens to nice guys?
I finished last.
Exactly. So you need to be a little tough. You need to put a little tougher in there. If not you, someone in your administration needs to come out and say, I will put a boot in your butt if we don't straighten this up.
Well, listen. I think that I think the data shows, and the investment of taxpayer dollars shows, that we take public safety seriously. We're serious about it. I just said last night at the council meeting, we plan to put even more in terms of technology with cameras, from traffic cameras to speed cameras, and we've already got our drones up and going. So I think we're using every method we can to beat up. Look, I do understand some of the political theater that some might appreciate. I promise you, whenever that happens, if it happens, it'll be authentic. It won't be
sincere. I guess
yeah.
I want you to be sincere right now. I want you to put your foot on the thing and say, we're gonna put a foot on your neck.
Well, listen, let me say this. I'm gonna go back to a topic you brought up earlier. You don't bring in somebody from the streets of Baltimore who's been on those streets and risen through the ranks for 20 plus years, male or female, if you don't plan on putting your foot up somebody's behind. That's not what that move is about. It's to make sure that, and you don't bring in an advisor like a former police chief of Mobile, and former director of public safety, Lawrence Batiste, that we have as an advisor to us, if you don't plan to do that.
Does he still work? Does he still work for us?
He's back now. He had to take a leave as he ran his campaign, but he's back now to give us feedback, and again to make sure that we're looking at what Mobile has done, which Sandy Stimpson I think has done a good job down there, and those guys, and to see, okay, where how do we compare? It's no different when football season or baseball season. It's no different than organizations looking at what their peer organization is doing and making sure they're doing the same, if not better. And that's what we want to be. We certainly don't want to be behind.
You did something the other day though that I like. Old folks homes. Senior citizens homes.
That's right. Get it right.
The other day, senior citizens are old folks though, but we don't like that name, old folks, for some reason. I don't mind being called. We're better old than cold, so I have a problem with that. But that housing complex over there, where's that located? You were in front of the other day.
Park Crossing Boulevard, East Montgomery.
Okay.
For those who say that we only put those things in certain parts of Montgomery.
Okay. Somebody just told me that you are addressing affordable housing. You partner with the Habitat for Humanity and brought in a housing director to address affordable housing. Now, and I think it's a great idea. But let me ask you something. That's not going to make me affordable because you say it is. if I don't have the revenue,
I agree.
the money to get the affordable housing, then it might as well be $1 million. We bringing in some high tech businesses into this city, and to you, I congratulate you for that, because I think you're responsible for that. But what good is that if we don't expect a pursuit of excellence in our education system? You got nothing
Now,
to do with it. But
now,
it just,
I don't right now. I thought that's where I thought we were going to talk about that.
yeah.
See,
Well,
I
I
thought we
don't.
were going to talk about that.
Well, you can talk about it, because until we do, are we going to be giving a whole lot of people jobs to live outside Montgomery?
Yeah, listen, and while Montgomery is the heartbeat for the River region and for Central Alabama, within about an 80-mile radius of here, I'm elected by the people of Montgomery, so I do realize that, and we don't mind people coming in from outside Montgomery to work here. They ought to be taxed like they are in Birmingham and in Auburn and some of the other 26 cities that have that tax. But at the same time, I think we can't wait until people catch up to put the economic development plans in motion. We know we have to be in a more knowledge-based economy. And I believe that our education system can reach the level of excellence. That's both, traditional public charters, independent schools, all of them. But we have to double down and we have to focus on, exactly where we want this community to be and what we're willing to do to get there. That means sacrificing again. We've got to get the best and the brightest to help us get there. And we can't just be kind of a social club of, false promotions and false accolades, thinking that that's going to make us better. So when we're going after high tech jobs, we're going after more white collar jobs, along with advanced manufacturing jobs. We do want people in Montgomery, one, to live here, but we also want them to be able to afford to buy a home here, a new home here. And that's all of those things are combined. And we know that public safety and public education, runs together where that's concerned. And so that's why we're focused on both of those, because the education outcomes often leads to the public safety issues that we see down the line, whether that's absenteeism, chronic absenteeism, and other issues. And so for us, the standard of excellence does have to return to our education system. I just said yesterday in a private conversation that, it's a lot harder to get the educators that we had when I was coming through MPS now, because there's just a lot more opportunities. No different than policing. There are a lot of more opportunities for somebody to go into a line of work than they existed 30 years ago. And guess what? They don't have to worry about a bullet, being shot over them, being shot at them, or pulling over, an unruly, driver. So we're going to continue to go after the big fish, and we've got some good news coming regarding that. We're going to continue to help our small businesses. We're going to continue to help those that are our small business community. As I was a former small business owner, understanding that comprises over 95% of your economy. So we're going to do those things, and we're doing things as it stands right now that we have never done in the city because we didn't have the infrastructure to do it. And so again, when people say, well, we're doing things outside, was because of what we see in Little Rock, Arkansas, what we see in Greensboro, North Carolina, or Richmond, Virginia, that allows us to see, well, man, why are we doing this? Or can we do this? Yes, we can. We just haven't been. So that's helping, and the same has to apply with education. And that has led me and continues to lead me down the path of looking at options to educate our students and to make sure we're getting the outcomes that's best for the students, their parents, and certainly the teachers and staff and everyone that's a part of that.
One of the things that's been in my crawl since you have been in office is this. Listen, nobody wants to pay more taxes, but sometimes you got to pay for the things you want. I don't have the commuter tax. Why is it that you are allowing, not you personally, people around us to have that occupation tax, but we still can't get it? That if that's not an obvious discrimination to the city of Montgomery, why haven't you sued them?
That's the first time you got me to think about what I was going to say. What my first thought was. We haven't sued them in honest because we've been advised that our line of reasoning would not pass the muster in this judicial environment as it might have in 10 years ago. Hence, let me make it clear. So I'll say,
make it clear. I know what
okay,
you're saying, but make
okay.
it clear.
So Mayor, if you want to say that a majority black city is being discriminated against in 2025, that's woke. So you're not gonna get that type of judgment in this environment judicially. I don't care at the state level, which we know that's not gonna happen, or even at the federal level, not gonna happen. So you gotta figure out another legal argument as to why you can't do it. And to be honest with you, we got some great legal minds on this, all skilled and well known and well proven. Haven't been able to find that angle. So again, I'm not just going to file a lawsuit just to file one. We want to see where there may be an opening. But it is, patently unfair.
But we got Morehouse, University of Alabama, Alabama State. We got Vanderbilt. Are you telling me all those brains combined can't come up with a cogent argument where everybody around you is doing something except you?
Hey,
we can't figure that one out.
Listen, I agree with you 100%. I know some members of your audience who agree with that too. I will say this: we've been on this now about a year. If not really in depth, we were talking about for longer than that, but we've been on it now for about a year, maybe a little bit more. We're at a point to where some have said, Mayor, you may just have to, put the ball in play and see where it lands. Okay. Right. Some have said that. Even some of our council members have said that you may have to just put the ball in play and just let's take our chance because right now we ain't got nothing. So if we do it, and we don't get nothing, we ain't no worse off. So we are at about that point. Summertime was kind of a decided factor. We're not quite out of summer yet. But no, I do think, and listen, I've talked to the other mayors. I'm a part of the Alabama Big Ten Mayors Association, the 10 largest cities. I know Ron Anders, he is from Montgomery, a Lanier High graduate, has told me what that occupational tax means to them. I've talked to the folks in Birmingham, that's at least 23% of their $600 million budget that they have. And I've talked to mayors in Gaston and other parts of this state too, who said, man, we couldn't do things with our police force, our parks and recreation, if we didn't have this. So we are handcuffed and we do have one arm tied behind our back. And listen, Kevin, I hope that with potentially a new legislature coming in the next year or two, that we can reevaluate it. But in the meantime, I think we may be looking at going to the courts, and maybe that we create, or maybe we find, I almost think we create, maybe we create the opportunity, or we find the lane as we're arguing this that convinces the judges that we should have the opportunity, just like 26 other municipalities in the state of Alabama have. And listen, not just us, other cities, other mayors have come to me and said, hey, we want to do the same thing, but when they cut it off for everybody, we didn't see a viable pathway to getting it funded. So
again, none of us want to pay more taxes, but I got to tell you, we want to buy things. We want our city to look good. We complain about grass. We complain about policemen. We complain about this. All of these things in a municipality take money.
No question.
And so now me personally, I think we ought to impose a sugar tax. Okay. Soda pop, candy bars, beer, wine. We don't need it.
You're going to get me in trouble with the Beverage Association lobbyists. I'm already...
Well, I'm going to leave that one alone. But I just think we got to get their money from someplace. One other thing, are the judges in our court, in our municipal courts, we do have a constitution which you swore to uphold. I have sworn to uphold it. But
did the president swear to uphold it?
I don't know. Or Trump's his own philosophy, but that's my man. I still voted for him. And given the same people running against him again, I'd vote for him again.
I'm
Okay.
gonna come back and interview you on the next podcast about that. But keep
Okay.
going.
Yeah, 'cause I will
We'll keep it
certainly
local for right
articulate.
now.
Now, so all the can I know you cannot interfere with any judicial rulings or anything like that, but do our judges? I mean, we let people out of jail around here
Yeah.
almost as soon as they get in there.
Yeah.
Is that a legislative thing where we have to hold you in there? We have to have a certain bail amount of bail, or constitutionally, are we just kind of stuck with what they do?
No, let me say this, and I like all of our judges. You know, interact with them quite frequently in different civic organizations, all that stuff. Our judges have to be tougher. Our judges, you asked a question earlier about Prattville and Wetumpka, and I'm going to put it kind of countywide
Right.
and that sort of thing. I think we overcorrected, and I've said this to local elected officials post George Floyd. I think there may have been some overcorrection, not just judicially, but also in terms of policing. I think that as it relates to the sentencing, we've got to hand down strong sentences. There's got to be a greater level of fear in going into that courtroom. And we've got to hold some of these caregivers and some of these parents accountable. There are things that are happening in this city to teenagers, and we read, well, it happened to a 15-year-old or 14-year-old. And we don't ask the question, well, who's the adult in the house and what did they know? And what are they participating in that led to the 15-year-old and 14-year-old being in this situation? So our judges have to do, I think, have to take a stronger stance. I think we can be stronger in terms of our Department of Youth Services. I think we can be more comprehensive in our juvenile corrections approach here. What I'm being told, Kevin, and listen, this is different than when I came in 5 years. You learn a lot, obviously, in that seat. When I came in, I thought we were doing good if we got them, we got to them in maybe 8th or 9th grade, going to high school. I've had countless teachers, countless coaches, countless mentors tell me that, Mayor, you are not only late, you're too late. You have wasted your time if you're doing that. You got to get to them in elementary school. I didn't even say middle school, 6th grade, elementary school, 4th and 5th grade. And the reason why I say that is because the juvenile, what we're seeing is a lot of these guys that we're arresting. We just got 2 off the street since we've been on this call. They are starting at an early age of 12, 11 sometimes, unfortunately. And we got to send that message then. But if they reach that 17, 18, 20, 21, 22 age, we do need our judges to be strong. And I will say this from a legislative standpoint, the judges are going to say, and someone said to me offline, hey, Steve, there's a bond schedule here. All right. And my brother and I have gotten into it as a criminal defense attorney versus where he presents things and where I view things very, very differently. And they will say, well, your bond schedule is here. So, we're not really out of range when we say that somebody can get out. If you want to change that, then you have to go to the legislature. And I have asked our state senator to look into that. I've talked to a couple of our state representatives about looking into changing that bond and bail schedule. And the fact that somebody can basically have a pay-as-you-go type of bail, get out for basically nothing, and the judge may set it at $250,000. But if I only got to put down, 10%, and I can pay on that 10%, then that's nothing. So yes, I know that's kind of convoluted for some of the people out there. I do think the judges have been, I think, trying to do a little bit better, but I do think they can be stronger in the sentencing for repeat violent offenders. I want to stress that. Repeat violent offenders. We're not talking about the low-level guy who's got a little weed bag in his car.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't talking about that. We're talking about the repeat armed robbers out here and the assaulters and certainly the shooters. Those have to have a stronger sentence, and a stronger statement's got to be made that if you do this in Montgomery, you're going to pay the price. And you're going to pay a hard price and a high price. And anybody who's associated with you is going to pay that price as well. And I think both from the judicial side, from the legislative side, there's work to be done, but conversations are being had. And I expect that in this legislative session, you'll see us introduce bills that address that bail bond schedule.
Mhm.
And I think that if the community keeps responding to the judges and the judiciary in a way that lets them know that what they expect, I think that they will listen. I don't think the community has focused on the judiciary to this point. I think it's probably more focused on police, and I understand that. And the mayor, that comes with the territory. We're out front. We know it when we take the job. But I do think as we arrest them, as I talked to Chief Great Boys on Monday, as we arrest them, it is a problem for us to come back and rearrest some folks that are out on bail and bond. And these are people who should not be. And we've got recent examples of things that happened this summer that led to that crime spike that we can point out that these are just situations that shouldn't happen.
Okay. Now, let me get political for a second here.
You mean you weren't political before?
No, not really. The rotunda downtown, the merry-go-round downtown with the Black Lives Matter thing on it.
Hey, the merry-go-round, you mixing stuff up. The merry-go-round does not have Black Lives Matter.
Well, I ain't talking about that. I ain't talking about the
Ferris wheel. You talking about the Ferris wheel?
Yeah. No. I'm talking about the thing right downtown in the center of town down there. They got the Black Lives Matter thing on the sidewalk, on the fountain. Do you believe if somebody wanted to come downtown and put a KKK heritage,
it's not the same. Not the same.
Well, again, though, I know it's not the same technically, but if somebody wants to voice their opinion of the status of our society right now, that is city property. You had said when you did it that it was going to come off. Now I find out that the paint that's on there is not necessarily paint that you can just wash off.
I didn't give you a timeline.
Okay. Well, you didn't. No, you didn't give. But do you think it's right?
Yes, I think it's right. Okay. I think it's more. I think it's more than right. I think it's important that we allow the artists in our community and the activists in our community to express themselves. I want us to be clear about something because this seems to be forgotten. It was forgotten when I was talking to some folks during the re-election. We're the only city that didn't have a major incident post George Floyd in this state. We didn't fire a bullet, rubber, or real in this city. And we didn't have any glass broken out. And I had some major business owners calling me.
And y'all did a good job in that. I'm
great job.
Yeah,
great job, PD. Great job, the community, everybody involved. If all that we had to come out of that was the artist that said we want to make a statement this way, creatively, I find that to be one of the biggest wins that you could have, probably outside of just the continued conversation between people from different communities talking about how to bring the community together. I do think some of that kind of faded away a little bit. It'd be good to kind of bring some of that back.
I think the issue, Mayor, though, that it's city property, and that's the issue that some people are complaining. Put a mural up like we did out over there on Commerce Street right there. That's fine. The Nat King Cole thing over there on Bell Road, that's fine. But the downtown city property, that's what the issue is, and that's what some people are complaining about.
Well, listen, I've been trying to put a Great American Defense Community award down there on Tallapoosa and Commerce Street for the last 2-3 years. I still can't get my city employees to do it. Maybe I should have asked the artists to do that. So, we had a Best Defense Community seal right there at the Renaissance going to the riverfront for probably 8 years, if not longer, down there. So we had put up art celebrating the city on city property, on public property. Again, I think that that mural has turned out to be better than I thought. It has been one of the more visited places in this city, and it gives the city a different vibe and a different perception of what most people have of the city. And I would say this to those critics: would they rather people in 2025 want to see the city as being moving forward for that, or would they still rather people in 2025 want to see the city for what happened in 1955? I would rather, and I think the majority of the residents here want people to view the city as we are now, where we're going, and not where one of our worst chapters in our existence was. Right. And so our creative community, our artists are great. They got some other ideas that are on public property. It's called street art. And so we just have been a little bit slower than some of that transition. But our goal is to spruce up black asphalt and to improve, brick, edifices in the city all across, and to take that out so that people have a sense of neighborhood pride and belonging in community. And listen, I imagine that there will be some statues and things that are around here that, again, not everybody agrees with, but that were put up at one time or another. But I think the mural has been a value add and certainly not
Well, somebody just
something to
asked,
take away.
can they put up a Confederate flag with a BLM painting it?
Hell no. Did I say that quick enough and strong enough?
Listen, one more thing before we let you go.
No. And keep in mind that is city property.
Yeah.
So for somebody who wants to try that.
Yeah. The Whitewater Park, I love it. I think it has potential for us. Do you still stand behind it?
I do.
Yeah.
It just came up. Hey, Kevin, can I say this?
Yes,
Because again, I think the zoo doesn't make money. We
That's
tend to
true.
look at the zoo doesn't make money. The museum doesn't make money. We tend to look at everything from the standpoint of profit and loss. That's why I tell people government ain't business and business ain't government. So they're designed for two separate things. And the people here in Alabama about to find out with the billionaire they have in the White House just how different it's going to be. And the food banks have already found out just how different it is when you have somebody who's got a bottom line mentality versus a government mentality. And people here are the last ones who ought to talk about we don't need government. We want the poorest, unhealthiest, least educated states in the nation. And that ain't just black folks. That's black and white and brown.
Mhm.
So we ought to make sure that we are talking about, what makes money and what doesn't. Whitewater is a value added
Yeah.
investment for the city that just came up yesterday in the economic development discussion, just yesterday. And so again, I would say not only do we need to do more things like that, the big plan, it'd be another mayor that has to do this, is how do we activate the riverfront? That may not make money, but it will draw investment and it will draw the Gen Z and the millennials and Gen Alphas that we want to come, the kids and grandkids that we want to come to the city who want to be in places that have things like that on their river and have outdoor recreation like the trails, like the zoo, and yes, like Whitewater.
Listen, it has been a fascinating, interesting conversation with you, Mr. Mayor, and hopefully we'll do this once a month or so. And I was easy on you today. Oh, get that chief on. You must got an Android phone, and now you got stuck. Anyway, we got to go anyway, but we appreciate it. Get a real phone, Mayor. Okay, please get an Apple. Okay, something. And that's kind of. Yeah, that ain't too good. That ain't a good look at all. We'll be back hopefully on tomorrow. And the mayor, he's in perpetuity right there. And that steel right there. I don't know what happened to him. Oh well. We'll be back tomorrow. The good Lord says the same. Have a great day. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Honorable Mayor Stephen Reed of the City of Montgomery. We'll see you when we see you. Oh yeah, I gotta go. Yeah, okay. So he went away. All right then. Tomorrow, Dr. Sean Merrithew is gonna be. We'll talk about things about a little religious stuff for a little bit and other things. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Okay, really, seriously, I want you to. And remember, it is not the falling down that gives you strength. It is getting up every time you do. So keep getting up. We'll see you.